Oh, thanks, my friend.
Hey,
Hello?
what are you listening to?
Just some Christmas music? Like, why? It's like, I don't see why it matters.
Christmas is over.
What? I don't, like, that, like, doesn't matter. Like, what? Like, what?
Let me see that.
Whoa, what are you Wait. I can explain.
All right, so it's been a while. When was August? Like 4 months ago?
4? 5. 5? Like, My Chemical Romance 5. We'll get to that in a little bit.
Today we're having...
Oh my god, my hair!
Oh, fix it real quick. Today Madison is going to be explaining the lore of My Chemical Romance, her favorite band, if you couldn't tell already. She loves it. Sorry. Is it recording? You gotta say that again.
I love it so much. Gerard Way, marry me.
Like, comment, subscribe. Let's get in there. By the way, I'm gonna be taking notes and we're gonna go over it at the end.
I did not know this. Okay.
Disclaimer. Everything was mentioned and might not be 100% correct. We are just silly teenage girls living our silly lives.
My Chemical Romance. One of the best bands ever, in my personal opinion. Others will disagree. I am not claiming to be an expert. I just really like the band. Okay?
Yeah.
So, My Chemical Romance, a history class. MCR lore for idiots. If you look here, we have this picture. I think it's really quite beautiful of him yelling. Then we've got his skeleton onesie, which I did not get for Christmas. It's okay. There's always next year.
And your birthday.
And my birthday. This is Frank and Gerard. They're best friends. And then there's this picture. Important terms you might want to know. Take notes, be ready. The letters MCR stands for, you guessed it, My Chemical Romance. It goes without saying, but some people don't know. You got that?
Yeah.
TBP means the Black Parade. You know, that one's also kind of self-explanatory, but whatever. The next special terms is we're going to learn the band members. So fun. So number first we... Oh my lord. First we have Gerard Way, my bae. I love him. He's the singer. He can play a little bit of guitar, but not good enough to be in the band with the guitars. Then we have Mikey Way, his brother, who is the bassist. He's kind of quiet. That's important. Not really. Ray Toro, he is lead guitar. He is really good at solos. Frank Iero is the second guitarist. He is also really good, and he acts crazy on stage. What's new? He's really short. That's worth mentioning. Then Bob Breyer, rest in peace. He died like November, but for this video, he will be mentioned because he was in the band, but rest in peace. He was the drummer, but he quit in 2010, so this is our important info. Bob's kind of mean. Yeah. Thoughts so far?
I didn't know all the band members. I only knew Gerard Way.
Because I talk about him so much.
Yes.
Moving on. The beginning. The beginning. My Chemical Romance was a band. You might want to go on the tangent after this. Because you love to say this. Let me finish. Let me. My Chemical Romance was a band formed by Gerard Way after the tragic events of 9/11. Gerard was working as a comic book artist and was on a ferry to New York for work and witnessed the events. I'm pretty sure he was also working for Cartoon Network. This really stuck with him, causing him to write Skylines and Turnstiles, which is the first track on their very first album, to cope with the trauma that it had caused. And he realized that he felt that he was going nowhere with his life. He felt hopeless, so he decided to call up all his friends and be like, hey, are you guys happy? And they say no. And he's like, me neither. So let's make a change. Let's make a band. So called up his brother, Mikey Way, and their friend Ray Toro, and My Chemical Romance was born. The name comes from, what the heck? When both Mikey and Gerard were working at Barnes & Noble, and Mikey saw a book, Chemical Romance, on it, he was like, oh. And then Gerard was like, that makes a whole lot of sense, because we'll get into this in a little bit, but Gerard did struggle with substance abuse.
So, a big thing that I know about... Not My Chemical... Oh my god! My Chemical Romance...
My Chemical Romance.
My Chemical Romance is about the 9/11 caused 50 Shades of Grey.
Pipeline.
So, 9/11 happened. Gerard Way, as was said, saw it. So he created My Chemical Romance.
Yeah.
The creator of the Twilight series
Really loved
My Chemical Romance. Created the Twilight series based off the
Gerard
band.
Way also declined to be Edward. Gerard Way was supposed to be Edward,
I didn't know that.
and he declined to make songs for Twilight, so Paramore took its place.
This is the killer of a skin Bella. Wait, this is the skin of a killer Bella. Anyway, that happened. Someone made a fan fiction based off a Twilight. Very freaky fan fiction. They took that literally and made it into 50 Shades of Grey.
You see, without My Chemical Romance, you wouldn't have 50 Shades of Grey. Moving on. I Brought You My Bullets, You Brought Me Your Love. Their first debut album. When MCR was still performing in the many basements of New Jersey, where they're based, they were able to adopt another guitarist, Frank Iero. He would join the band. And he was a very big fan of My Chemical Romance. He would go to all their shows. And then they were like, hey, you can play guitar? And he's like, yeah. And he was in a band called Pincy Prep. Don't quote me on this. I'm pretty sure it was before he joined MCR. He was in Pincy Prep and it didn't work. After this, in 2002, they then released their debut album, Bullets, under Eyeball Records. It was very experimental, and it's not what their usual sound is. It's very heavier than the other stuff. The last track of the album was called Demolition Lovers, and this track sets up the story for the next album, which is 3 Cheers for Sweet Revenge. This album was released in 2004 under a different record label this time. They were released under Reprise Records with a new drummer, who was Bob Breyer. Bob Breyer was not the initial drummer, but he joined when they were like on Warped Tour or something, and like their drummer like got sick and stuff, and he played without knowing anything. Rest in peace, Bob. This album was a concept album that followed the storyline of the Demolition Lovers from the previous album. 2 lovers that were like Bonnie and Clyde. They just had a horrible star-crossed fate, and the whole album is about them getting over it and him getting over her. And the album reached #1 on billboards, and a tour followed. It is one of the most well-received and fan-loved albums. It is my personal favorite. My shirt, you know. The most popular song from this album would probably be I'm Not Okay or Helena. Helena was actually written after their grandmother, who died, and they weren't there, you know. And the music video of Helena sets the whole aesthetic of their albums and the tours they would do. They would dress up for tours and do characters and stuff. It's normally black suit, red tie. And then the I'm Not Okay video, it is a bunch of nerds getting beat up.
That's not nice.
No, that's not. What's your thoughts?
That's not nice.
That's all?
Don't beat up nerds.
Yeah, but I mean about the whole thing.
Cheers for Revenge.
Oh, yes. Oh, this is very important to mention. I did not put this on the slideshow, but this is still very important to mention. Like I mentioned earlier, Gerard Way did struggle with substance abuse and alcohol. At the end of Bullets era and the beginning of Revenge era, he got really bad, and he was like, no help. But then he did get help. The band, the music, his purpose was to help people. Their purpose was to make others' lives better, to help kids who felt like they weren't needed or they were whatever. The purpose of the band was what helped save him. And right before they made the I'm Not Okay video, he got completely sober. It took him like 2 weeks, but he did it. Good for him. Go him. Okay, what do you think about Gerard's addiction problems?
I think it was very cool that he was able to drift away from drugs.
Yes. And this is free my soul. If you really want more information about this, I suggest you go watch Life on the Murder Scene, which is their little documentary. It's like 2 hours long. It's really good. Beautiful. Moving on. The Black Parade. This song may very well be known as the emo national anthem, but before you say anything, technically, My Chemical Romance is not emo. okay. They're culturally emo, and that's all that matters. They're not musically emo. They have never claimed to be musically emo. They've only been labeled as it. But they are culturally emo, and they are very important to the emo culture. The same way that Panic at the Disco and Fall Out Boy are. They're not emo, but at the time period, they were culturally indulged by emos. The Black Parade was released in 2006. It was extremely successful and well received. It is their most known and most sold album ever. Even my mom knows these songs. The Black Parade follows the story of a cancer patient who has to come to the terms with death. So the album as a whole is one of the most beautiful pieces of art ever to me personally, and the music videos go really good as well, and it's so sad, and it captures grief in a way. It's very just beautiful. They took on the uniforms of skulls and parade uniforms, and the Black Parade is a symbolism for death. And it comes marching on to this patient who at first isn't ready to die, but as the thing goes, he accepts that he is terminally ill and that it is time for him to go. But then towards the end, death starts to feel bad for him, but the patient has already accepted it. So there's other videos out there that go more in depth, but that's not this one. Moving on. Danger Days. Oh wait, I forgot to ask you, thoughts on the Black Parade? Oh.
That sounds so good.
Thoughts on the Black Parade?
Marching band. We're in marching band.
I saw somebody do a show on it.
Mr. Sam's gonna do come back.
That's Oh. Moving on. Danger Days. This is the album that a lot of people don't like. I like it, but not enough. I don't really know so much about this one because I don't really care. It has a ton of good songs, don't get me wrong. But it's not really notable. It was released in 2010 and it was different from their usual aesthetic, which drew a lot of their fans away because this is bright colors and I don't think emos like that. It shifted with more upbeat songs, not really sad or slow, and it has vibrant colors, you know. He dyed his hair red. They went on Jimmy Fallon as well. Let's just say Jimmy Fallon was shocked, to say the least.
Jimmy Fallon interviewed them, or they just played?
They played on Jimmy Fallon, and their song choice was...
The one that you love?
The one that I love that's a little freaky. No, the one where he moans. They decided to play that one on Jimmy Fallon, and
What's the name?
Destroy ya. Let's just say Jimmy Fallon was a little shocked, quite flabbergasted.
My Chemical Romance, everybody! Oh, wow.
It wasn't as well received, obviously, and the story followed the lives of these killjoys, which, if you're a My Chemical Romance fan, you're technically a killjoy. It's a whole thing. I don't really know that much. These killjoys in a post-apocalyptic world, they're trying to rebel against this thing called the better living industries, and they try to neutralize everything, but these rebels, they don't want it. And they also have to save a little girl, and then they all end up dying. I don't know. I really wish I knew. Thoughts on Danger Days?
Red hair is kind of cool.
Yes. The breakup. They broke up in 2013. Broke up in March 22nd of 2013. How could they do this to me? Anyways, this is me crying, by the way, right here. Before they broke up, they released a series of singles called Conventional Weapons, and in February of 2013, and then they broke up in March, which is kind of stupid, but Conventional Weapons they're good songs.
Can we take a pause? I would like to take a moment to appreciate the scribbles
Yes.
on this slideshow.
Their breakup.
Okay.
So Conventional Weapons, you can kind of listen to it as a mini album. Gerard said in an interview that the reason that they had breakup was because it was either a choice between his own health or the band, because he started to struggle again. And he decided that the healthiest option was for him to stop being in the band. And so they broke up. And the last person to know was Frank. They kind of didn't tell him. And then he found out. After they broke up in 2014, he released his own solo album called Hesitant Alien, and he was much better. He was sober. He'd been doing great. Fantastic. This album was pretty well received by the fans. It's more poppy than what MCR is, but it follows the lines of Danger Days, so. Thoughts on the breakup?
What the heck, guys? Why didn't you tell Frank?
He never knows. Just because he's short, you can't You can't do that.
I'm short.
I know. Frank also, he's still in the band that he formed after called LS Dunes. They're pretty cool. They're more punk than MCR ever was.
Write that down.
Next, the reunion. Stay in your seats. The band announced that they were getting back together and on Halloween of 2019, and they were only going to play one show before COVID messed it all up. They did get to play that show. It was like December 20th that they played the show, but then of course this virus messed everything up, so they couldn't do that. What the freak?
This random virus that nobody really knew about. People were just disappearing.
Yeah, like I think it was like pretty underground.
It was a pretty underground virus. Like nobody really, like basically only me and my family knew about it.
Exactly, because like I had personal contact with
the creator.
With My Chemical Romance.
Oh.
They were finally able to start touring in 2022. The tour ended in 2023, early 2023. However, before the start of the tour, without any notice, nothing, they dropped a single. They're like, hey guys, here. The single is called Foundations of a K, and a lot of people do not like it. It's 6 minutes long. It's a long song, and it's different than what they've done before, but they haven't made music in like 10 years, so what do you expect them to do, right? So I like it. Each show that they did, Gerard Way wore a different costume that paid homage or was a reference to the band's past. Okay, before we move on, what do you thought?
Gerard Way, he a top G. He is a top, like a lipstick. Okay. Top G for Gerard.
Also, fun fact, he made Umbrella Academy.
What?
Yes, Gerard
I've never watched it, but I didn't know that.
Way made the Umbrella Academy comics.
You know, because Aiden Gallagher.
Oh yeah, he kind of like butchers every cover he does. I'm sorry, Aiden Gallagher. I'm sorry. So any more thoughts before we move on? Okay. MCR 5. What? Oh my God, what? That's why when I said 5 earlier, 5 months from August. MCR 5 was known as MCR's 5th album.
And doesn't Aiden Gallagher play 5 on Umbrella Academy? Is it 5?
Wait,
number.
I think it is. It is 5! This is top notch. Okay. So MCR 5 is known as My Chemical Romance's 5th album that got canceled because it was too depressing. It was called The Paper Kingdoms, and it was supposed to be about a support group of parents who lost their kids. Oh. So they had to cancel it, which they're like all fathers. Gerard Way's a dad, Frank's a dad, Ray's a dad, and Mikey's a dad.
Papa.
Mama y papa. Many fans expected an announcement of anything, basically, because MCR was going to be playing at the When We Were Young 2024. But of course, nothing happened. But then, on a random Monday, on November 11th, they make an Instagram post after not posting for months. They were radio silent. It was a thing. And like it looked like there was little papers flying around. What does that make you think of?
The weather's getting bad.
I just said it. Their 5th album.
Oh, yeah, true that.
The Paper Kingdom. A lot of fans started to speculate, and then the very next day, they released a video with its own made-up language, a bunch of guards, and it looked very World War II-esque. It released their tour. They're going on tour. They are going on tour. We are back.
We are so back.
We're so back. Like, tickets were to go on sale the following Friday, which means Ticketmaster War.
An all-out brawl of emo.
The trenches were very deep, but I made it out. I got tickets. I made it out of the My Chemical Romance Ticketmaster War of 2024.
Props to Mama Madison.
Props to her because she literally got in the queue an hour before, got like really good seats for what they were, for a really good price. Resale is extremely ridiculous. It is extremely ridiculous. So, we got out the trenches with this one, and I'm gonna go see them in August.
She's gonna smell and see Gerard Way in 4K.
In 4K. Many fans believe that all of this can't just be for the tour. They believe that it's going to be a new album. They believe there's going to be a song released everything, but that might be a little big to think. But then they were radio silent, and the only time they posted was about Bob Breyer's death. Rest in peace. That's it.
That's it?
That's it.
Oh my gosh.
Thoughts?
I can't believe that's it. I think it's time to... Well, do you have anything else to add beforehand?
Frank did play double set for when we were young. He played for LS Dunes and then played with My Chemical Romance, so props to him. He also saved a baby hammerhead shark the other day. I saw that on Instagram. And Gerard Way's voice acting a pinball machine. He loves Dungeons and Dragons, so he's voice acting a Dungeons and Dragons pinball machine.
I don't know what, like, he sounds like talking.
New Jersey.
Oh, New Jersey.
Like that, but high-pitched.
no.
But high-pitched.
Let's go over my notes.
Okay.
So, the terms. So we got the letters. MCR stands for My Chemical Romance. TBP, The Black Parade. Band members. Gerard Way was the lead singer.
Also, it's important to mention that Ray and Frank do backup vocals. You'll hear them in the back going like, ah, ah.
Okay, Mikey Way, Gerard Way's brother, is the bassist. Ray
Ray Toro. Oh.
lead guitar.
And Frank and Mikey are both college dropouts, but Gerard went all the way through art school.
Then there's Frank Iero, the guitarist. Bob Breyer, drummer. He's dead. 9/11. That's a note. Friendship is everything. Because they formed the band. Oh, Barton and Noble. Barton and Noble. I don't remember what.
It's scribbles. What the heck is going on? Just show them.
Wait,
What is that?
Wait, hold on.
What is that? What is that? Eyeball rec. Oh, the Revenge cover. I think, isn't it so pretty? I just love it.
Let's get back. Drugs.
Yes.
Gerard Way was addicted at one point. At one point. New Jersey bagels.
Bagels?
I put bagels because New Jersey is known for their bagels.
But okay.
Bonnie and Clyde.
Yeah.
They died in the Big Boot, which we live in the Big Boot. They're culturally emo, but not emo. And then I tried recreating the little face, but it looks like blackface. Oopsie! Like, I had to flip over. This is when the breakup happened, guys. Notice the symbolism. I had to flip over because it was a new chapter. A new chapter.
Yeah.
The breakup happened 2013. Frank didn't know. Poor Frank. Oh my god. I can Frank. Reunion!
Where was Hesitant Alien? Why is it not in your notes?
Hitler? What? No! Because you said World War II.
I said Hesitant Alien.
No. I mean, from the reunion, it was like World War II.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah. One of them had an LA shirt, so I wrote... Wait, go show my notes. I saw one of them had an LA shirt, so I drew the LA symbol. And then I wrote Hitler by by Reunion,
yes.
because World War II.
Why did you call the new singles bad?
Oh, that's what I heard you say.
No, I said they were good.
Okay, give me it back.
No, you can't fix your notes.
Well, I don't know what it said. Then 5. There was an emo war.
Yes, the trenches, crawling out of the trenches.
Paper Kingdom.
Paper Kingdom.
Ticket. Those are my notes.
Now, I'm going to do a little special thing to show you how much I love My Chemical Romance. Are you ready?
Yes.
My Chemical Romance chain, My Chemical Romance shirt, PJs of the Black Parade, My Chemical Romance baggie, my keys, My Chemical Romance. Right now, this time, are you ready? It's the art. This isn't even the half of it. All of the other ones are somewhere else. I'm going to give you the phone, and you're going to do your reactions, and I'm going to show the cameraman.
Whoa! Wait, I should do like the trend where it does, I make the face, you make the noise.
Wait.
I'm going to do it for that one and that one. Oh my god, what is that?
Bunch of Gerard Way that's going to go in my sketchbook at some point. I promise. Slay. Fate, but...
Wait, why are he giving Rue from Despicable Me?
Teal Root Gerard is not true. No, it's not true. This is what I said when I met teenagers. Go listen to MCR, yeah, and pierce the veil too. And while you're at it, go listen to some Sleeping with Sirens. It's so good for you.
But if you're into music that like my vibe, you should listen to Jeff Buckley, Mazzy Stars, The Sunday, like The Sundays, The Cranberries, stuff like that. Jeff Buckley is my goat.
Okay, Jeff Buckley is good.
Exactly, yeah. We do. Eternal love.
That's all. Thank you.
Bye. Bye.
Staring at